Greetings, fellow monsters of the sea ice. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech, the first Wendigo, episode 38, Jailbreak. To recap the end of last stream, we had been blessed with a whole lot of mech clusters and raids, sort of back to back to back. If we take a look at the graph here, you can see them all clustered up. The last mech cluster has been destroyed, but there's still this one. This one, I think, is going to be relatively easy to destroy. What I'm going to try to do is to take this one out without damaging the unstable power cells so that I obtain sources of power. But that's likely going to require... I mean, it's actually might be possible for Mass and T-Sang to take it out, but Wendy has just started death resting. So she's going to be out of commission for at least 2.5 days. We also have Curiosity, who's growing inside of a vat here. And Curiosity will be popping out of this bad boy very soon. Curiosity is 15, and at 16, he'll be extracted. And of course, we have Double D, who's 3. And that is going to take a little while longer. I did have one question for you pretty early on, which is about, it's about enslavement. I was looking at our slaves, and it looks like Alla Ramsey might not be a terrible slave to take on. She could wield smoke launchers or guns, and she's also a cook, which at level 6, it doesn't remove her ability to make poisoned meals. But there's a possibility there. I think I'll be pulling for that in just a few minutes. But here we go. So it is telling me that I need a warden. So I'm going to make Mass a warden so that these prisoners are taken care of. And I'm still, as you can see in the priority in the top right, cleaning up from the breach that we had. So we had sappers breach in this wall here, and they destroyed some toxic waste packs, and Rosie is zone restricted inside this building to clean them up. Alla was basically the only good candidate, as far as I was concerned. Wish is not eligible, because only baseliners are eligible to become slaves via the rules. Ramirez here could be a farmer for us, but the only issue is she is incapable of violence, and if I did take on a slave, I'd likely want a slave that would help me, at least with smoke launching and things like that, and a pacifist one is just not going to be useful in that way. I'm going to send T-Sang to drop the SMG before it encourages him to rebel and switch out for an EMP launcher. Then taking a look at the rest, Rill here is really only good at combat, so that's also not something that we're really looking for. Brito is ineligible, as they are not baseliner. And then Ramirez, Ramirez is the pacifist. And Bella Rose is a genie. The genie would be potentially useful, but the things that we really need out of our prisoners would be like medical or cooking. And not so much crafting, because that's what T-Sang's already doing. So this would just double up on the crafter, because obviously T-Sang has that in the bag. So likely Alla would be the only good candidate, in my opinion. Does social skill affect slave rebellion chance? No, not at all. Slave rebellion chance is affected by suppression. Well, actually, you could just mouse over it and see the factors. Movement speed, mood, how many slaves to colonist ratio that you have, whether they're behind walls or not, whether they're around weapons or not, and then yeah, and those are the big ones. So as long as they're enclosed behind walls and not near weapons. And also, like, having a colonist on the map tile. That's the biggest one. Unattended slaves go free. So, I'll be pulling for that soon. Rosie, you've got maybe 2 days of charge left. You should be able to clean up the rest of this on 2 days charge. The other thing that I'm going to need to manage is to make sure that these hoppers get filled. So even though I don't really have someone that is currently cooking, because Wendy's in death rest, a Parduke... Oh, you know, Parduke is really low on power, but I'm going to draft Parduke to get Parduke to start sowing the farm, because this farm is ready to be sown. Because I just don't have a lot of spare resources, as you can see. More or less just have human meat. So. Interestingly enough, Terra Sculptures would do nothing for Tisang. Terra Sculptures only affects the suppression fall rate. Same with gibbet cages. But if they're 100% suppressed, gibbet cages and Terra Sculptures have no effect on a slave. The way to stop the suppression fall rate is for slaves to wear body straps and slave collars, and then Terra Sculptures, gibbet cages, and daily beatings. And at 100% suppression, no additional anything needs to be done, which is kind of nice. So, I think what I'll do is... We might need to start putting human meat into the hoppers, unless I get a harvest of rice soon. Alright, keep resting up, Wendy. I am very eager to get quadruple glucoside speed boosts at the end of this. Should be quite helpful. So we're not making tail caps. There we go. So let's go ahead and vote for... Should we enslave Allah the cook? As far as other priorities, they will be pulled at a later date once Wendy is up. I'm not really intending to take on big projects with Wendy death resting. That doesn't make any sense, as she's really only the reliable one in the colony to be able to do things. Mass is helpful, don't get me wrong, but Mass is no Wendy. Whatever happened to the smoke launcher? I don't recall. So as soon as Parduke is finished sowing and harvesting, I'll make sure Parduke goes down for recharge, because Parduke's almost out of charge. But it looks to me like I am going to need to start to put rice in here. Or kill them off. One or the other. I'm not really sure which. I can start killing off the less than useful ones. That would save up food as well. My, this windmill, yeah, it's blocked by the kill box walls. It's not really getting a lot of power. What's funny is I could actually just reverse the direction it faces and it would be fine. Perhaps I do that. Problem is I don't really have a good constructor to be able to do that at the moment, so I'm going to wait until, again, Wendy's up. Megahoof, thank you for the resub. Joint for the resub as well. Bastion Glitch, Rinagen, Bryzette, and Guerrero for bits. And Bastion for gifted out a community sub. Cheers to you three. Or all three. I don't know where I came up with that number. Alright, looks like Oliver the Cook is likely to be enslaved. And it also looks like Rosie has just finished cleaning up the pollution mess. So that's good. It should limit our vulnerabilities from waste pack infestations. So that's helpful. Let's see. Some of the temporary zones that I have here probably can get deleted. What is Area 2? Okay, yeah, Area 2 is just high priority hauling, so I can get rid of that as well. And then the mechs, the lifters can go anywhere they want. Yeah. Parduke, why aren't you recharging? The recharge stations are not currently occupied. Here, I will assign you to the recharge group then. That's a little strange, because Parduke, I believe, should have just automatically recharged, as Parduke was well inside of the threshold for minimum. No, actually, I was wrong. It was like 0.2 more power than the minimum threshold. So. Power looks like it's bottoming out. That's not good. Oh, and we have a psychic ship. Lovely. Just keep throwing mechs at me. So this is a all-scyther psychic ship. And it's affecting females. Bummer, man. Just not getting left alone. I'm just flicking off everything that I don't really need on. The fog is, from this weather controller, is making it difficult to generate wind power. As you can see, the wind is basically not going right now. I think I'm going to have mass set to construct. Not that there's a lot to build, but there's a lot of things to repair. That could be useful. So how's the hopper? Oh yeah, the hoppers have a little bit of stuff. I mean, they are going to starve in there, but they're good for now. Oh, Rosie, you should not have been set on farm zone. I'm going to fix that. Be on home zone. I was wondering why everything was filthy. So there's a lot of heavily damaged power generators and walls and, you know, sort of everything else. Wendy's death resting for only a day and a third. Not that much longer. And then when she awakes, obviously, I think the psychic... Well, there's synergy between these two. Because the fog makes it harder to shoot scythers. Which is annoying. But that's just my luck, I suppose. Just my luck. Alright, Parduke, I'm gonna have to wake you up. Man, you are having a lot of oh, because you're on the recharge group. No, that was my fault. So I have the lifter bots starting to haul granite chunks closer. And I think in a second, what I will do is have T-Sang stop what he's doing to start making chunks. Ooh, masterwork. That's nice. Make cut stone so that I can do some more repairs. Because some of these just are broken down and need repair. Most of the worker mechs are out of power, basically. So there's going to be a run for the rechargers shortly. Why so many coolers in the kitchen? They idle when the powers are not needed, so it doesn't really matter. As you can see, they're only draining 20 watts, which is about the same as a standing lamp. But it's so that, you know, if I do have heat waves or something like that, we definitely have the capacity to deal with it. I'm still not entirely sure where the smoke launcher went. I'm like drawing a big old blank, whether it got burned up in that fight or dropped or something. Might need to make another one. I can have T-Sync whip one out. It got destroyed during that fight? Alright. That explains it. And we're still hemogen farming in case I want to make more death rest or for whatever other reasons. Mass's Constructoid is done. Kish has been revived. The pikeman is still waiting for Wendy to interact with the gestator, which isn't going to happen until the death rest is over. And I believe, if we take a look at the weapons here, I believe I'm down a sniper rifle as well. No, I have one here. It's just heavily damaged. Alright, so having Kish back up is going to be really helpful because Kish is obviously a repair bot, and I have a lot of repairs to effect. So that means probably, Mass, you can be taken off of Construct for now. And Mass right now is getting a little bit of medical and wardening, but it really isn't much. Oh, man. What to turn off? Because I want to keep the Death Resters running, right? Like, here, I'll turn off 2 of the superchargers. In fact, I can turn off the gestator, because it's just idling for Wendy at the moment. Turn off the large recharger. 1500 watts. Yeah, there really isn't much else to turn off. The assembler, I guess. So the smoke launcher will be very useful against this mech cluster, which is basically all turrets, but not all that effective against the droner. Now, there is one weakness that this droner has, which is that if the ship gets destroyed, the scythers will kind of attack anything outside my walls. So it might be possible to try to aggro tribals, like the Clade of Theons, and get them to attack me and have the scythers take them out. But in my experience, most of the pollution retaliation raids are all breach raids, which makes that harder than it should be to do. And there's the smoke launcher. Where'd you bring that? Oh, you handed it off to a mech to haul it. Works for me. Okay, so we have smoke and snipe. That'll be helpful. Wendy is out in 11 hours. And the progress on Allah's enslavement is close. Started at 4 will, now down to 2.5. A few more days and she'll bend. Yeah, additional jade for the throne room is nice as well. We have a little bit of jade from those tribals that came in and got smushed. Really? You hauled 2 of 3? These guys are probably... Well, okay, only burrito... So Ramirez can have ovum extracted. And that's it. Everybody else is on cooldown. Pick plays, thanks for the sub. Welcome. So this droner is very likely going to intensify, just because I haven't messed with it yet. I think my strategy of attack for that thing is probably something like hit and runs with charge rifles. The only worry that I have is that mass does not run very fast, which then it kind of leads it to Wendy unless I get implants in mass. But I haven't yet researched bionic replacements, so that might be a good place to start. But the psychic ship isn't going to wait for me to, you know, research bionic replacements and make them and all that jazz. So, there is a few other alternatives. Calling in aids, or even potentially fighting it and using Wendy to skip mass away when mass gets run down by scythers. That might be more the strategy that I go with, I think. Ali K, thank you for the resub as well. Alright, Wendy, here, out in an hour. I'm probably going to have her death rest up to about 100%, so I just don't have to death rest that frequently next. And go beyond her wake-up time. But, the fact that she can wake up without penalty is a good thing. Why don't I strip the corpses before I butcher them? So the reason I don't strip the corpses before I butcher them is that tainted clothing is worthless. Literally worthless. So the only things I would want to strip off them are things that would generate wealth. Meaning things that I could smelt. So smoke pot packs or shield belts or recon armor. Those kind of things can be worth taking off of a corpse. But most of the gear that they have is just not even worth it to strip. So I'll queue a few of the corpses to be stripped up, but as you can see, a lot of them are actually already stripped up. But I don't really need cloth, so stripping fabric off of these guys is probably not worth it either. But one of the big reasons is I just don't want to have to deal with a crazy high influx of tainted gear. Because tainted equipment will overwhelm my very low colony population to be able to deal with hauling it and dismantling it or getting rid of it or whatever. So a lot of it is just the logistics don't make it worth it, right? Like if I stripped every single corpse, it might yield maybe 100 steel a day, but it would take almost all of the available labor of the colony. Whereas I can get 100 steel a day, 15 different other methods that would be less work and more reward. Basically, the opportunity cost is high, quite high. I do have some lifters though. Yeah, the lifters will help, but it's not a foolproof. How old is Curiosity? Actually, Curiosity just turned 16. Or not even just. Hit 16. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Curiosity in there to bake a little bit longer. Because Curiosity doesn't have eggs that I extract like Mass does. And that will allow Curiosity to move more quickly. Because when you're a teenager, you don't move at full speed. You move at 95% speed, which is a significant disadvantage when you're trying to run away from baseliners, right? If you're 5% slower than the average person can catch you. That kind of sucks. So, another reason to wait is I literally don't even have a bedroom for Curiosity unless I make this a slave room. I guess I could do. Put T-Sang back in there and then free this up for Curiosity. But yeah, I think ideally having a person moving at full speed would be better. Alright, so now it's death rest. Come on. 100%. So Glue Rush times 4. Wendy is moving at 7.1. This is, might I add, without bionic legs or jogger jeans. So first order of business is to deal with that ship part, I think. I do actually have a little bit of a tactic that I want to try to use against it. But it does require Mass to be well rested. Oh, what have we been feeding? Okay, rice. So I'll have Wendy throw together some of the walls here, and that frees Kish up to do other things. Speedy Gonzalez, indeed. What door needs replacing? Oh, yeah, that one. Both of these, if this is to be a heat chamber. Yeah, let's build the heat chamber. That's probably a good next best thing to do. And I'm waiting for Mass to sleep, and I'll move on the Scythers at night. So these two doors will enclose this cave. I probably also want to just slate wall this up. So that it is also enclosed. Hey, Andrew. Thank you for the resub. A full year. Holy cow. Have you missed much? Probably. I would guess yes. Alright, one more door, and we're gonna prop that door open purposefully. Ooh, thrombos. Okay, well, I have a... First order of business is to kill some thrombos. That's a lot of meat that we need for the prisoners. Because right now the prisoners are taking all my rice that I would cook with. And I have... I have no need for thrombo meat. The other thing... She's saying close that door. So Wendy is, doesn't have a lot of side focus right now, but she's fast enough that she could probably just shoot the thrombo and just jaunt away, even in daylight when she's slower, and the thrombo's not going to be able to catch her. That, and she can jump if need be, because I've been hemogen farming this whole time, so I have 33 hemogen packs to be able to top up no problem. Wait, come back here. Where are you going? And actually, Mass, I'm going to wake you up, even though it is your bedtime, because now is probably a pretty good time to get some shooting training. Especially if you stand there. Ouch. Hit me first. There's a bulk goods trade. Man, so many opportunities. Yeah, don't bruise my leg. That's just rude. Come on, Mass. Get a move on. Mass is meant to brawl, but a little shooting skill never hurt. It's a funny way to hunt them. I think Mass actually leveled up in shooting once. Alrighty. I almost bad for just like continually hopping over it. It's like, sorry, but you really are trying quite hard. And down it goes. I have super fast wound healing, so that leg actually is already half healed from the wound the thrombo inflicted. Where'd the other ones go? Here you are. Really? Missed? Whiffed all the shots. Fog does that to you, I suppose. There we go. Alright, Wendy is on a major break because of this droner, so... I think what I'm going to do is just to speed this process up. And even if it costs me a little bit of lost opportunity for combat training. What other mechs do I have? Just Wally? Yeah, okay. Oh, and I forgot that I should probably continue gestating the pikemen. Because that's a thing. Oh, sorry, T-Sing. You closed the door and then I forced you out there. And it's dead. Only 2 more to go. Yeah, this droner is doing something fierce to her, though. Oh, man. If only I had a foil helmet. Don't touch me, Mr. Thrumbo. So what favors do I have? None of them. Nice. So never mind, that's not an option. I could just beam target it. That would take care of it. But I think it's probably a waste of a beam targeter. Supercharger would help a lot? Yeah, you're right. I should have supercharged. I might just have a rest up for taking this on, the last one on tomorrow. So that I don't risk mental break or anything like that. Plus, I want to hit up the bulk trader too, because I have tons of corsets. All right, corsets. For what? I'm going to hold on to my leathers, because I can always turn that into something more useful. There aren't any gene banks I want to part with. A lot of tattered clothing that I don't need to hold on to. I'll probably keep at least two of the high HP parkas. I definitely have enough wood to keep the sconces or braziers on. I don't think that's an issue. Maybe just for the silver? Because it wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to save up for tech prints. I'm given a lot of opportunities to buy tech prints from my alliance with the glitterworld empire. So, time to butcher the Thrumbo, and then also go over here and disallow vegetarian so that we haul the rice out of these hoppers and instead only feed them Thrumbo meat. Thrumbo paste meals. Okay, I really need a neural charge. Can slaves trade? No. Like, especially not in caravans. Because, unattended slaves... rebel. And then also, my only real trade partner is the Shattered World, Shattered Empire, and you have to be a title holder to trade with the Shattered Empire. If you're not a Dame or Duke, they won't talk to you. So that's another big restriction. I guess maybe it's possible to have like a slave with royal titles, but the likelihood of that being a thing is basically zero. Thrumbohorns do count for slave rebellions. Yeah, they do. I'll have to move them to the other room. In fact, beer used to count. I don't think it counts anymore. But that used to be a thing. Alright, so the pods are getting biostarved. I'm going to have to do a little bit of butchery micromanagement to make sure that we don't biostarve our children. And being warned about low hemogen, which is easy, no problem. The other thing is, when you butcher people, you auto-strip anyway. Which slave is currently the most capable? It doesn't matter. We've already decided which slave is getting added, which would be Allah, who just had a crisis of belief. In fact, we should be converting her as well. Let's convert her first and then enslave her. All right. The hoppers have been fixed. That's good. Do a little bit of cooking. And then I'm really going to have to go... Oh, okay, never mind. Breachers. It is 1 thump, 3 scythe, 3 lance, 4 pike, 2 militor. Man, I never get a break. I simply never get a break. Okay. Mechs. Escort. Wendy, inject go juice. T-Sang mask, come out here. And consume a meal. These guys are going to breach probably this area, oddly. It's just what's closest. And I'm going to want to move against it. Okay, Wendy, you come too. Head them off and take them out. What I'm going to need to do is to do significant tanking with Orange Chaos, and then also to make sure that T-Sang lands really good EMPs. Especially on those Scythers, so I don't have to go running from the Scythers. Very, very, very annoying. I do have 2 Scythers of my own, but... There we go. Pike sniping. The other thing I could do... Oh, you know, I don't have the Psi Focus. I was going to say is skip rip them. Basically, skip them to me. But I haven't had time to meditate, really, so... That is not exactly an option at the moment. Okay, we lost line of sight on the thump. Which means I'm going to have to mess with the rest of them quickly. What I would like to do is to send the Scyther... Oh man, I wish I had Psi Focus. Send the Scythers against the Lance and Pike and shut them down quickly. Come on, don't have a mental break. These Randy events are obnoxious. For real. Alright, so they're thumping there, where my robot is idle. Oh, their Lancer just shot their Lancer. Works for me. Now, the advantage I have here is that their robots aren't really guarding they're not really guarding one another right now because they're attack moving, which gives me an opportunity to come up from behind and try to dismantle their ranged units, leaving me easier targets. And I'll just replace the walls. Alright, T's saying you gotta target better. The break risk is really, really bad. Is there... I don't have a soother or anything like that. Alright, so now their Scyther is taking notice. I'm going to want to deal with that. I don't really care if Orange Chaos gets wrapped up in the accidental splash here. All stuns are good stuns. Let's do one here. Okay. No more firing, because 100% of their units are stunned. I'm going to get a little bit closer so that my accuracy goes back up. The thump is moving in, but it's just the thump, so it should be really easy for us to clean up. So the hope is to just eliminate as many of their combat bots, especially the Scythers if possible. So I even have T-Sank punching the Scyther because, you know, it's what I do. And they're going to breach again. So, no one can flick that, unfortunately. So I'm just busy. Come on. Oh, yeah, you got slashed. I guess Rexy, fight. Okay, all of the mechs back here are taken care of. My melee mechs basically just don't have much left in the tank. Hey, T-Sang, I don't even want to stop to heal you. Just tend to yourself. He's a genie, so I'm actually surprised he's even vertical. Alright, prisoners are going to get quite cold. Okay, Jesus, are you kidding? Alright, Mass. Oops, that's not the button I meant to hit. Alright, so they're starting to escape again. This is deja vu, if I've ever seen it. What I'm having Wendy do is she is heading to the psychic ship to wake them up. Because those Scythers can fight the polar bears for me. The issue is, without a proper perimeter, the bears out there are going to be annoying. So I need to repair that as quick as I can to prevent issue. Sleeping Spy exploit is not a thing anymore. Alright, and one of my Scythers is down. Kish. Where is Kish? I'm going to make a new zone. Call it Area 1. And this is all slate? No, that's granite. Slate, slate, slate. Okay. So Kish is going to travel to Area 2 until the threat's cleared, and then I'll put him in Area 1 to help me build that wall. Okay, they're up. When you jump away. The cluster's up too. I didn't mean to wake them up, but okay. What assemblers are there? That's scythe and scythe. Okay, that's fine. Alright, the other thing I will be doing is... Curiosity, you are going to lose your bedroom so that I can contain the prisoners again. Prisoners are getting shot at, which is hilarious to me. So what is even going on over here? I think the bears lost in a big way because the mech cluster is just smushing them. Which is of no surprise. Kish, you are good to go. Area 1, get the walls built. Thank you for watching The First Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 8th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you who support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. I'll catch you next episode or upcoming stream. Stay safe out there, my fellow Wendigos.